Welcome to the initial show of Ravens Daily with Coach Evans. And full transparency, I put it in the chat box earlier. Nervous as heck, because when you do something new, you want it to succeed, but you just don't know if it's going to succeed or not. So with that being said, I want to welcome you all in here. We got 38 people tuning in so far. And again, the phone lines are open. You can go ahead and start to get in line. The number's in the description. Also, it'll be up on the screen here shortly. Let's see if I can put it up here now. There it is. Let me put the lower bottom in there. There you go. So the phone line is up now. Access code and all that is up there. You can call in now, get in line. And even if you go ahead and call in, you still can hear what's going on while we wait to get to you. So what I'm gonna lay a few ground rules to kind of start the show off first, and this is what we'll do. Depending on the number of calls, and we're probably not gonna have that many today, with today being the first day, but depending on the number of calls, if we have a line going, we're gonna try to hold them to 5 minutes. I'm gonna let you get your point out, and I'll kind of, ask you a question, or we'll have a little back and forth about what's going on and whatnot. But I'll let you get your point out, and we'll try to hold them to 5 minutes. Now, if there's nobody behind you, we can just keep going back and forth, That's how that'll work. Now, depending on how this goes, I'm going to cut it off at 5. But if we have a bunch of callers, which I think eventually it'll turn into a bunch of callers, we can, I'll close the phone lines at 5, but everybody that's in line will get to stay in line. So that's how we'll do it to start off with. So go ahead, you can call in, and if you can hear what's going on while you're on hold on the call-in show. And when we get to you, if it's after 5, you won't be cut off. Everybody that's in line before the 5 o'clock cutoff will get to get their point across. But again, that probably won't happen until further on down the road when more people know about it, when we're good and established. But right now, it'll probably be a one-on-one with me and whoever else decides to come on. First off, before we get to the callers, we got this thing that I like to call. Let me move this because I don't want everybody to see it. All right. The Jane Doe comment of the day. And for those of you that know, Jane Doe is they have condiments, beverages, and desserts. And we'll talk a bit more about it when I can give you the full experience of it. But it's a business, and it deals with CBD enhanced products, and we'll talk about that once more. They're out there, but they're our sponsor. I'm gonna have comments of the day. We'll have 2 or 3 each day, and they'll be sponsored by Jane Doe. So the first one is from Jeremiah W. He says, "I'm good, Coach," and this is talking about the topic for today. "Really, the only problem I see is the disruption of the market that was predictable and predicted by Big Shotty." He's talking about the owner. "A despicable dude who's sitting there $100 million in guaranteed money over the rest of the league, and Lamar was up next. The Ravens have built-in cost control in the tags, and Lamar has every reason to value himself over Watson. It's a immovable object meets an unstoppable force," and that's meaning Bisciotti versus Lamar. And I really think, and I could be wrong, I think that it's really Lamar versus Bisciotti. I think EDC, Harbaugh is going to be the ones that get all the blame, but I really think, because Bisciotti controls the money. Any deal that EDC works out, Bisciotti has to sign off on it. So I really think he's the guy that controls the money. Second comment from Matthias Whistler, and I hope I pronounced that right. He says the Ravens' valuation in 2019 was $2.8 billion, as opposed to in 2022, $3.9 billion. That's the Lamar effect. Before that, in 2016, it was 2.3 billion to 2.19. I'm sorry, in 2019 to 2.8 billion. Biscuits, meaning Bisciotti, made $1.1 billion and can't share it with the one person who was the primary catalyst for that growth. Pathetic, petty, and pompous. I'm not watching if they don't give him a contract. And that's what a lot of people are saying. That's what a lot of people feel like that. But then again, you also have G Money's, people like G Money, which I respect both sides of the coin. I'm not going to say that you're right, you're wrong, and whatever. I respect both sides of the coin. And the last comment that we're going to put for the comment today is for G Money. He says, I feel like Lamar is a little foolish. No agent, no playoff production. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but his worth is not what he's asking for. And there's a lot of people out there that feel that way. And I'm not here to say that G Money's wrong or Matthias is right or Jeremiah's right. I'm just here. I want to hear what you guys think of this Lamar Jackson situation, whether you blame him, you blame the club, or you blame whoever you blame. But there's also one name I want to put out there too that can't be that left out of this. The NFLPA. They're playing a role in this some kind of way. But the NFLPA playing a huge role behind the scenes, and they're really not. Well, their involvement is really not being talked about enough. But what we're gonna do now? We're gonna transition to the phones. And so I got a few here. Let me get them up. Again, first day, nerves. But we working. We working over here. All right. First guy up. It's a guy I talked to on the regular. See if he got me. DeMar, you got me?
DeMar.
What's good, Brody?
I'm on the train.
Yeah, you live. You the first caller, my guy. You the first one.
Well, I told you I was going to come through.
You did. I appreciate you. What you think about this whole debacle and the stuff that transpired today? Because that was amazing. But not amazing, but like the timing of it was crazy. What you think about it?
I think it was like an act of desperation, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
From Lamar?
Yeah, I think it was because it's like, okay, you say you asked for a trade on the second, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if they threw the non-exclusive on you, they basically telling you, all right, well, go find one.
Mm-hmm.
Go find a trade, and if you get the money that you want, we can at least match it, because we don't feel like that's the market. Apparently, to the reports, what they've been saying, like nobody's been calling. Like teams been backing out because they heard what the Ravens offered, and they not going higher than that. Blah blah blah, all that other stuff. So to me, it just felt like an act of desperation to like really get some buzz going. I don't know, like how you feel about it?
It's tough because I think he's at a point where he's tired of the people just talking about him and kind of slandering his name. And he wants to get some, not necessarily put the blame on them, but to get to have some transparency, because like in the tweet he put some don't believe. I think he said don't believe everything you. Yes, I think he's trying to start to. He's tired of people just basically shitting on his name, and he want to put some his narrative out there to go along with what they've been putting out there or what reporters have been putting out there. Because I still think they have certain reporters that they go to. And they kind of leak certain stuff or say certain things and to make it look like it didn't come from the organization. But I think they have their certain guys that they, kind of push information to try to put out there and turn a narrative.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think there's like, just from what I've been listening to and stuff like that, it's like they already trying to create a narrative and stuff like, he's difficult to work with because he turned down the second largest contract and he need an agent and if he had an agent, all this stuff wouldn't be going on, stuff like that. So, like, the narrative, and then the stuff I heard today, they talking about, like, teams on heard that he's been sick at practice and missing practice and stuff. I'm like,
right.
Oh, it's getting ugly now.
Crazy stuff like saying his sleeping habits. What they got to do with anything?
Right.
So all they doing now to me is setting him up to get a sleep number deal like that. That's what that is. Setting him up to get a sleep number deal and an endorsement and go from there. That's all they doing to me. But who do you think is right in the situation?
I don't think neither one is right. I don't fault either side because all right, like it's like people, everybody be saying, oh, they should have paid him after 2020, blah blah blah. Remember EBC saying like they wait on him, like he never came to the table. They waited for him to come to the table.
With that two to tango talk.
Yeah, like I remember that. Like I'm like, did people forget that? Yeah, but then it's like, you know how I feel about Roman. So you got to deal with that for 4 years. I mean, I feel like you should ask for whatever you want.
Right. Yeah, we all got glad Roman gone, but
Fault no man for asking for what he want. Yeah, I don't fault no man for asking for what he want, but I don't fault the organization for trying to just go, next man up.
mm-hmm.
I don't fault them for that. And then like, especially if that 200 mil incentive, like just being on the roster, if that's true. That's 80% of 250.
Right.
So I felt like they was trying to, be fair.
Yeah.
But on top of that, like, I don't know if you ever seen when Shannon Sharp said he had talked to a few of his people in the league, and he was like, other people don't value Lamar like the Ravens do.
Mm.
So I think like that might be playing a factor right now.
Yeah. I haven't seen that, but since that
Oh, you didn't see that?
since that press conference, it's been a whirlwind. I hadn't I was doing a video when the news broke about the tweet. I was doing something about Charlie Jones, a receiver from Purdue, and I didn't see it till almost the press conference was over. I'm like, man, what's going on? And so,
but you know what's crazy though?
Uh-huh.
It's like, cause remember, I was sending you a lot of stuff in the DMs and stuff, but like we wouldn't even be at this situation if it wasn't for the NFL period, bro.
Yep.
Like,
you were the first one to put me on it. You definitely were the first one to put me on it.
Yeah, so like that's why I just feel like this is a messy jump. That what I wanted to ask you was, right, if the owners are digging their heels on these non-guaranteed, like not fully guaranteed contracts,
mm-hmm.
how does this situation go? See, everybody just keep talking about, oh, well, the coach did go get a vote. Well, yeah, that's cool, but let's look at the other side. What if nobody wants to give out this deal?
Right.
Then what?
I think they all got together, and even before today, and said, look, Deshaun Watson got this guaranteed money, but we're not finna start this. Like, and DeMaurice Smith is like, oh yeah, we're finna make Lamar be the poster boy, and we're gonna start getting guaranteed contracts afterwards. But what's really gonna be interesting
mm-hmm.
is what's gonna happen with Burrow and what's the guy in California?
Did you see the report about Herbert and the Chargers?
Talk about the $500 million.
Yeah, so that's like a 10-year deal.
Yeah, I saw it. But the interesting thing is gonna be what those guys, what they do with them guys, man. Hey, so DeMar, I appreciate you for coming through, man. Depending on how this thing pop off, you can always say you was the very first caller. So I appreciate you for constantly, because we had good conversations one-on-one. Now, when in our group, it get kind of crazy sometimes, but me and you have good conversations one-on-one, and I appreciate you for calling in. And I got a few people behind you, so I want to try to get them in, and I thank you, man. Thank you for being the first one. You're the first one to commit to calling in, and I'm forever indebted to you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, bro. I'm about to listen. I'm gonna check in and listen.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right, bro. You take it.
Take that one off. All right. Appreciate Lamar for calling in. We just got a $10 super chat from Anon. He says Lamar is operating in a way that challenges the NFL machine. Owners care more about control than winning. See Kaepernick, and it weakens Lamar's negotiating position. I appreciate it. Appreciate the super chat. Next up. Let me unmute it. If I can unmute it. There we go. 410, you up. I know who it is, but I'm going to let you say your name. Turn your music down in the back. Well, turn me down in the background.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, what's up, Coach?
What's good?
What's up, man? How you been?
It's been a while.
It's been a while, man. Got responsibilities and kids and work and all of those good things, man. But I still be watching the videos, and hitting the like button.
I appreciate it.
I mean, I have time to really be in there, but I always try to make sure I show love to a lot of the Ravens content providers. I watch the roundtable. I'm still watching like a lot of us do. We may not be able to be as interactive, but we definitely support and we appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you.
And I like what you got going on here. I think you're one of the ones who really offer the call-in show. I think that's unique, and it gives us a chance to really, fans to really have a voice without having that much of a filter. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, not just to be coming on and just talking sideways. Having some legitimate points in conversation in a respectable way. But just to have that resource, like for days like today,
Right.
you know what I mean. So now we in it. I know I don't want to hold up too much. If I can, I can just go ahead right
Go
to
ahead.
the point.
Do your deal.
Hey man, listen. I think they're both at fault, but I think the Ravens are more at fault. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, to really what's important is both of these parties, meaning Lamar and the Ravens, are going to have to put aside their pride and keep it business, you know what I'm saying, and really come to the table and talk. You follow what I'm saying? Stop this, just trying to manipulate, leverage, and all that. Just be straight up. And I'm sure they've done this, but I mean, Lamar got to be honest too, which I already think he really is. But he has to take really to look over the league and really see what's going on. You know what I mean? Put the NFLPA aside. I think Lamar is kind of like I don't think they've been talking as much ever since that whole Ken Lucas was it Ken Lucas situation.
Whatever. I know what you're talking about.
Because that's not an NFL, that's not a PA move.
Mm-hmm.
That calculated. When you're talking about big business and negotiating CBAs and all of that, they know the laws and the bylaws of the league. Matter of fact, they're the ones who put some of the language in there to protect the players from all of that. For people coming in who really don't belong and really wrecking the league. When you're making money like that, it's tight. Even though you still got the players on one side and the owners on one side, it's collectively bargained, agreed, and they know. At the end of the day, they got to work together to make these billions of dollars from all these networks,
right.
And that's where I'm at. Like Lamar, I think RG3. Long story short, said it best when he said he's raging against the machine.
Mm-hmm.
And they both have to look at and talking about the Ravens and Lamar have to look at what's the commodity. Lamar's the commodity, right? When you have to make it make sense. I mean, you look at the jersey sales, you look at the YouTube pages like this. You know what I mean? Your page is affected by a face of the league.
Yep.
People are going to tune in. People are going to call in. They're going to, like right now, where they're going to voice their opinion. You know what I mean? Versus you being on a team with a guy like, I don't know,
Baker?
Tyler, like Heineke or, I don't know, Tyler Huntley.
Mm-hmm.
You think we want to call in and talk about what happened, in the playoffs? And this is why, I know I voiced my opinion. I know you had a difference of opinion about Tyler Huntley, and wanting to win. That was the fan in all of us. I mean, we ride with our team. We like the logo, but I mean, at the end of the day, man, you gotta give us something to root for. You can't just give us some trash and say, hey, man, this is filet mignon. No, man, don't. You know what I mean? When you paying all this money for these tickets and stuff, man, you gonna have to give us. I want to know that it's a 50-50 chance that we can win this game.
Right.
With the biggest names. You know what I'm saying? We love champions. We love, you look at a guy like Tank Davis, about to fight Ryan Garcia, not to, to get off topic, Baltimore's own, about to fight, there's this major fight coming up in April, you know what I mean? And him and Floyd had a disagreement, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they squashed it, because they know together they can make way more money together and set record numbers together than divided, man. And then this is why I said that I think they're both at fault. I think the Ravens should have gave Lamar a pro-style offense, spread, create bigger lanes, and let him really truly be the quarterback of his offense and take these training wheels off and treat him like a child. Then on the other hand, Lamar is just turned 26. You know what I mean? And some of his associations, which we may not all know, his personal life is his personal life. He's never had as far as we know, have had any issues off the field. But I mean, a lot of things he's done has been immature. You know what I'm saying? And he hasn't gone about his business the smartest way. He's looking like he doesn't belong, on this level when it comes to negotiating. I ain't talking about playing football. So what I'm saying is Lamar has to understand where you going to go. Right. Where you going to go, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like if you go to another team, you're going to take a lesser deal. Are you going to have a better defense? Because if you're the offense, you better have a defense that's going to match your intensity and your talent if you want to win a Super Bowl. So do you really want to win a Super Bowl, Lamar? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you really about that life? About winning? Are you really? Is it another side that we don't know? Whereas you would just rather start your record label, which he just did.
Mm-hmm.
You're opening up restaurants. You know what I mean? You got all these other business ventures going on. All right, but how much money is a restaurant making you? You know what I'm saying? When you could have been signed with Under Armour, Nike, anybody would have signed you. You know what I mean? Mike's biggest deal wasn't from the league when he came into the league.
It was Nike.
Nike made a precedent. This is my last point because I know you got other guys want to come in here, but you know how I am, man. You know what I'm saying? I just got certain triggers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, G-Row is gone.
Yeah. That's one. That's all our trigger.
You know, our blood pressure went down a little bit, but I just think that Lamar has to really step back and see that the Ravens got a legitimate offensive coordinator. They made moves on this defense. I think they're really going to really give him some weapons around. And even if the weapons just come back healthy, if it's just him, J.K., and Mark Andrews, and Bade on the outside, that's enough to me. If everybody being healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He don't need no more weapons. Lamar don't need no more. He's proven it.
Gotcha.
I mean, he put up 40-something points on the Dolphins, man. But this is why I say I think both parties are at fault, but the Ravens are more so at fault because they never supported him, and then they treated him like a child, and they're trying to big boy him.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And they forgot that, like, bro, he's the commodity.
Yeah. He's a man before anything, and
he's a human. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I was saying you got to treat him as such.
Bro, he's a human being.
Yep.
So he can just say, look, I'll go somewhere and take less just off of strength of pride because I'm in my feelings.
Yep.
I'll show you that I'll go somewhere else and we'll get to the playoffs before you will in this division. How about you won't beat Joe Burrow for the next 7 years, bro?
Right.
Think about all the quarterbacks in the AFC. What you going to do, Ravens? So eventually, John Harbaugh going to get fired because everybody going to be booing.
Yep.
And everybody going to get replaced. Eric DeCosta's going to be known. Forget all the trades that you've made. You're going to be known for losing a generational talent. And Steve Bisciotti said he already got 1 foot out the door. He's looking to sell.
Yeah. I appreciate it. I got like 4 or 5 people behind you, and me and you can go for 30, 40 minutes. So not to cut you off, but I don't want them to be holding for too long. But I appreciate you for coming through. You always come through when you open the phone lines up. We always have great conversation. And again, tomorrow, we never know what tomorrow holds. So hit me up tomorrow. We'll have a different topic tomorrow. We'll have a different topic Wednesday. And we're going to keep this thing rolling.
Coach, have a great one, bro.
I appreciate you. Appreciate you. 215, you up. I don't want to say the whole number. I just muted him. Nope, I'll come back to him. DDSQ, you good? You live? Guess they don't realize they on hold. There we go. DDSQ. I think I heard myself in the background. Turn me down. There we go. Run it. What you got for the show today? Dog team?
I'm up.
Yeah, you up. You up.
Oh. What's going on, team? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, man, just wanted to call in and show you some love on your first show, man. This Lamar thing is crazy today. Crazy, man. It's unfortunate because the Ravens should have never been in this situation. They should have offered him in 2020 after he won the MVP, and this is just showing that that they really didn't really support him like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been going back and forth with people on Twitter. I know. And one of the things that people not realizing, if you look at it, if you could add this up, Orlando Brown requested the trade.
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood Brown requested the trade.
Mm-hmm.
And you bring in Lamar, and then we don't even know PQ situation.
Right.
Like, if the Ravens aren't smart, they're going to not have that reputation of being one of the top franchises out there. You know what I'm saying? You can say what you want about Lamar and not having an agent. Him releasing that tweet when he did was strategic.
Yes.
And
yes.
It may be it may seem unorthodox from the outside, But I'm telling you, people thinking that nobody else wants this man. They know other teams would want him. That's why they gave him the non-exclusive tag. And I think they did that for a purpose, trying to teach him a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
But let me ask you this, Coach: Do you think that Lamar would actually not play on the franchise tag and not sign that tender until he has to in Week 7? And you think the Ravens would? Who you think would blink first, the Ravens or Lamar?
I think right now there's a possibility that he would sign it and still play because he's a competitor. But if this thing gets if it gets any more nastier, I think he'll sit out and be like, screw it. But to me personally, and I ain't never had money like that, but I just don't know how I can just sit out and miss out, even though it ain't the money you want. How I can just miss out on $32 million. Now, I ain't never had money like that. I don't know. I can't even really speak on it. But in my mind, to miss out on $32 million, whew, I know Le'Veon Bell sat out and missed out on whatever he missed out on, and I don't think his career was the same after he came back. But $32 million is a lot of money. It ain't what he want, and it probably ain't enough for what he gonna bring for the team. But that's still a lot of money because this game ain't promised you for about 5 to 10 years at the most. And so you can make $32 million in 1 year. That can set you up, on down the road. Now again, granted, it ain't probably what he deserved, but $32 million is $32 million. That's a lot of money for me. But I ain't in the business.
Now I get it, but understand this though. People crap on Le'Veon and his situation, whether it didn't turn out football wise for him, but he made more money for the Jets than he would have for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That next year,
and the next year and for that contract, because he ended up getting I think $32 million guaranteed in a $50 million contract, where the Steelers don't offer guaranteed money after the first year. That's why AB wanted out of there.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't like this. They're similar to the Ravens, to where and the Bucs used to be like that too back in the days. I thought we was able to keep a lot of players. They never gave big signing bonuses. They would give higher per year salaries.
Right.
And they weren't necessarily known for letting guys go. But I think nowadays, I think people don't give these players enough credit for handling their business. And I think a lot of these guys are more about their business than they think. Mm-hmm. And I think Lamar is a little bit more savvy than people give him credit to. Because even people are going after him saying that he's being loud. Lamar ain't said a word other than the tweet he put out today. The tweet he put out about his injury,
mm-hmm.
and then going back and forth with a couple of reporters about them talking about the contract. But he hasn't said a word. He hasn't been doing interviews everywhere. He ain't been out there acting crazy.
Right.
But just from the outside looking in, man, I think to me, Lamar is stubborn enough to not play on that tender, and people thinking that the Ravens will just tag him again next year. If you tag him again next year, it's $32 million this year. If they don't get a deal, you're talking about 20% raise. So
pushed them $50-something.
$40 million.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, it would have been 50-something if they would tagged him exclusively. They gave him non-exclusive, so 20% above the 32, which it is. That's still $40 million.
Mm-hmm.
And then plus, you got to look those veterans in the face and tell them, yeah, we asked you to come back here and take what you would not have got on the open market, and come here and play with top. And look at this way, Tyler Huntley's not even the Ravens do not have a quarterback
at all. We got Brown, I think. I think we got Brown.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate, man, and now it makes sense when you look at that. There have been no free agent moves made because the word is they haven't been guaranteed that they're committed to Lamar long term,
mm-hmm.
and who's going to sign him.
Right.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you.
It's messed up. It's a messed up situation.
Yeah, I appreciate what you do, man, and I love to support the bros, to support your show, and even if Lamar is there, I'll continue to support your show, team.
Appreciate it. We're root to the good bros. Appreciate you.
Root up. Root, no problem.
Next up, we got 410, area code 410. You're on. You're hot.
Hello?
Yeah, you got to turn me down in the background, though. Not,
Turning you down, Coach.
yeah,
Turning you down.
just turn me down and you'll be good.
All right.
All right, go ahead.
All right, I'm Joy. It's a pleasure of finally getting in. It's your
Hmm.
first day, and I'm excited about it.
Thank you,
I
thank
did
you.
not expect that news to break the way it broke today.
we all
Wow.
didn't.
It was nice. I know, right? It's a little bittersweet for me today.
Hmm.
Um,
The conference has been locked.
Disappointed big time in the Ravens. Big time in the Ravens. Been a supporter since '96,
Hmm.
and the opportunity that we had to get this quarterback, and for us to fumble this ball the way we've been fumbling is just, to me, ridiculous. I'm understanding, and I think Engraven said it best. Like when you try to think about what you feel like you are at your job, you feel like you're doing everything they ask of you, put you in positions to win almost every game, and we can't get a deal done. We absolutely can't get a deal done. Is to me the biggest problem is the Ravens and their stubbornness
Mm.
and their arrogance. I'm so disappointed in the Ravens. Now I'm gonna have to choose, or I feel like I have to choose. I love Lamar.
Hmm.
I love what he stands. I love what he stands for. I'm not understanding how the Ravens don't understand this kid. He's been disrespected since he's been in the game. The
True.
last thing I want to do is lowball Lamar. Why would you do that? Anybody who knows they're giving 100% when it's at the end of the day, for you not to reward this guy in a way that would be respectful to him. They've done nothing, well, I don't want to say anything, but not enough with the pieces around him. He's still going to come out here and play his hardest, give you 100%.
Yep.
And instead, we're just going to give you what we think we may figure you are worth.
Right.
How's he going to feel?
The thing is,
How is he really
I don't like what they did, but I understand why they did it because they know. I think, and it's all opinion. I don't have any sources or anything like this. I think they know that a lot of people weren't going to be in the market to give him a fully guaranteed deal. So instead of putting the tag where I think it's the non-exclusive tag. I think he's on the non-exclusive tag now. Y'all correct me from if I say it wrong, but they put that out there to be like, hey, okay, you think you can get a better deal from somebody else? Go try. With in the back of their mind, knowing that nobody's really going to give him the deal that he wants, and so now by us giving you the lower tag, we got the opportunity to pay you less and maybe put a piece or two around you for this upcoming year. But the thing is this is getting to the point where this thing might get messy.
It's going to be messy because I don't think they're understanding Lamar. And I know people think it's just money. It may have started out as money. Now it's principle.
Mm-hmm.
It's principle. It's going to be principle from Lamar because to me, and I don't know him personally, but like I understand he's a Capricorn.
Mm-hmm.
You know, any Capricorn. It's always principle.
Mm-hmm.
Money will be in the back pocket, but you got to do me right
Yep.
for me to want to play for you. You know what I'm saying? You can put the money out there now. I almost think whatever money they give him, he don't feel he's not going to want to play for y'all.
Yep.
That's how they roll. Where he's from, that's how they roll.
Yeah.
You can't be disrespectful and for me to go out and want to play for you.
Yeah.
The money could be there, but is the want still there?
I'll even
Do I
say,
respect you the way I did?
I'll even say, had he been paid already toward the end of the year, like those last 1 or 2 games, we was trying to make that playoff push. He would have tried. He would have tried to go out there. Not saying he would have been healthy enough to go, but had he been paid already?
No, I agree 100%. And even though I feel like he was injured, but because when you're up against the wall and you have people doubting you for so many years of what you can do, and you get the opportunity to do it, it's going to take a lot to stop me. And the one thing that's going to stop me is, do you appreciate me?
Right.
Are you showing me value?
Right.
He would almost go somewhere else just to show with less money because y'all didn't believe in me, and I want the person that believes in me as much as I believe in me. To me, that's what he's saying.
I 100% agree. 100%.
Wow. I'm just blown. I'm just so blown because I just love his game. I love what he stands for. And I just wish sometimes the Ravens would just look in the mirror. And I don't think they'll see themselves. That they really fumbled the ball on this.
They
And
did.
I think it was brilliant the way he released his tweet today.
Yeah.
I just felt
Make them
good
talk
about
about it.
Yes,
Make
like,
'em talk
yes,
about it.
Lamar. You think you down and out? They want to throw stuff at you. Talk about this guy, Ken Francis. I'm not done. He's like, I'm not done. I got some other stuff.
Right.
I'm going to drop it strategically, keep my name in the game, and not allow y'all to just say all the stuff like Harbaugh wants to say, always politically correct. He's still our guy. Right in the midst of that. So actually, I asked for a trade March the 2nd.
Right.
Then you tagged me.
25 years ago.
So don't
25 days ago.
Guys, don't get it twisted. I understood what you're going to do. They're underestimating Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't realize how savvy and how smart the kid is.
Yep.
He may be immature, and that's going to happen. He's going to grow up, but he's not a fool.
Exactly. By a long
Nobody's
shot.
fool. And the Ravens going to be, I don't know, they're going to be looking a little sad. A little sad coming up this season. I'm going to be watching because I am going to be a Ravens fan, but I'm going to be rooting louder for Lamar.
Oh, most definitely.
Doesn't stop it.
Most definitely. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Ms. Joy. I appreciate you for calling in and being one of the day one callers. It's truly humbling for you guys to be here and to support me like this. I appreciate it.
I love your show. Yes.
Thank you. We got one more caller. One more.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good one.
You too now.
Let me see. 352, you're up. And I appreciate you for holding. You've been holding for a minute. I want to say thank you before you start. What you got for the show and what's your name?
Yes, my name's Stephen, and I appreciate you, Coach, for having me on. And I appreciate all the other callers and everybody has made excellent points. But I'm going to go the other way with this.
Okay.
And I'm going to start out with say, play like a Raven.
Okay.
What
does that mean to you? Before you start, what does that mean to you?
It means to me that you play, and we are hard. We come hard every day. And Lamar did not. He did not play. He was out for 4 or 5 games, and he sat out in that game. And I think that changed a lot of people's minds in the front office. And I don't know. It kind of sickens me a little bit, Coach, to see these people talking, we don't have Lamar, we don't have any. No, we have an excellent football club with a ton of talented players. Insert next quarterback, put Tyler Huntley back in there, go draft one or whatever, and move on. If he doesn't want to be there, it's fine. It's no big deal. We have enough talent on that team to go into the playoffs and beat. We were right there beating the Bengals. We were right there beating the Bills. We were right there beating Miami, and we had some terrible fall-offs.
All
We're
facts.
not that far away, and Lamar is not the end-all, be-all.
Okay.
If he doesn't want to sign and he doesn't want to be there, then just let him go. It's fine. Roll on.
And you know what the thing about it is one of the reasons I want to do this because there are different people on different sides of the coin, and I'm glad you called because everything was all pro Lamar, and I don't think you're a negative Lamar, but you're more pro club than the individual.
I'm not negative Lamar. I love Lamar. I followed him ever since he came out of Florida and went to Louisville. I appreciate him. I appreciate everything he's done, but it's not enough.
Right.
It's not enough, and I'm not paying him, or we shouldn't pay him $220 million for another 5 years. If we would have done it 2 years back, and I think that if Eric DeCosta and Ozzie Newsome would look in retrospect, they would say, you know what, we made a mistake right there.
Right.
But hindsight is always 20/20. Now we have to move on, whether it's with him, and hopefully it's without him. He needs to go somewhere else, and he needs to apply his wares somewhere else, and we need to start over. And, I look at us a lot like the 49ers. The 49ers keep their core club together and insert quarterback here. And we have always been an analytics-driven front office, Harbaugh, all of them, analytics-driven, looking at the numbers and everything. The numbers do not match up. You roll with Huntley, draft another quarterback, bring another quarterback in, and we go about business as usual. I mean, it's nothing personal.
Yeah.
And everybody is like, oh, we're going to be 2-14. We will not be 2-14 or 2-16 or whatever. We won't. It's not going to happen. We're too good of a football club.
Yeah, I think we still have. I think we still have enough pieces not to be 2-14. As I say, Lamar's not there, and my opinion is gonna come saying Lamar's not there. I think we have a good enough defense not to be 2-14. I don't think we have a good enough defense. I'm a good enough team. I'm sorry, to win the Super Bowl, depending on who they replace Lamar with. If it's Huntley, yeah, I don't know. If they go out and get somebody, or and even if we draft a young guy, you never know what you get out of them young guys. But I don't think we'll have enough to win the Super Bowl. The thing I'm worried about is after this year, when other people are up for contracts, or the team. I think the team will start to wither away, because somebody made a point I saw on Twitter saying it's like the fourth guy that's asked for a trade from the Ravens. So I don't know if it's like what's going on in the building is like a avalanche, or is like, because we used to be known as this great organization for everybody would say the Ravens is this well run organization. They know how to draft. They get the most out of their players. I think that reputation is starting to be pecked on a little bit. I don't think it's down, because I think our defense is top notch. I really do. And I think our defense is going to keep us in games, whether Lamar's the coach. I mean, not the coach, whether Lamar's the quarterback, whether it's Huntley, or whether it's AR-15 or Stetson Bennett. Our defense is going to keep us in games. But we
were in every game last year.
That's what I was going to say.
Game until
the fourth quarter. Every game. Now, I think if Lamar's not there, it's going to be that same situation. And even if Lamar stays, can we have him in November, December when we need it? And that's why people that have the same opinion of you, I respect it. I ain't gonna say I necessarily agree or disagree, but I respect it, because this is a results-driven business, and he was not there at the end of the last 2 seasons. So you got to respect both sides of the coin. Like he has not been, like when we faced Joe Burrow at the end of last year, Lamar wasn't there. The year before that, I think I went to the Rams game
and took him to the mat, and Huntley was right there on the goal line and tried to go over the top and got the ball knocked out of his hands, took back for a touchdown. We had him.
Sure did. So I see both sides of the coin. So I'm not gonna cut somebody off that don't feel it the same way I feel it. But that's why we have a call-in show. We have different opinions, but we can talk about them and it be respectful. That's why I'm glad somebody called in on the opposite side. I appreciate you, Steven, because these are conversations that need to be had and need to be had in respectable manners. Because some people just they try to throw shots. You came on, you were respectful. You listen to me, I'm listening to you, and I appreciate you for calling in, Steven. I appreciate it.
Well, I thank you so much, Coach, and I'll call back. Have a good day now. We'll holler at you.
I appreciate you.
All right.
Let's see. All right. Appreciate Steven for calling in. And so let me close this. That's what a call-in show is, people. You get different opinions. Different people feel different ways about different things, and I'm not gonna cut nobody off if they don't feel the same way I do. I'm not. I'm just not built like that. He was respectful to me. I'm gonna be respectful to him, and we good. I look forward to hearing him tomorrow or Wednesday or next week, whenever he calls back, because it's different things we're gonna talk about. And this Lamar thing just happened to be the hot button topic that everybody's talking about in the NFL. Everybody. So I appreciate Steven for calling in with his side and articulating it and just coming to the platform, man. But with that being said, thank y'all. I appreciate it. I talked to Brandon, or whoever was in the chat when we first started, and I was nervous about this situation because I didn't know how it would go or whatnot. There's 185 of y'all in here. Hit the like button, please, before we go. We're gonna come back tomorrow. I'll post the topic for tomorrow on my page. And if you comment up under there, that's how you get to be a part of the Jane Doe comment of the day. Appreciate the super chat. I left a super chat off. I'm sorry. Let me go find it real quick. Like father, like son, I think had a super chat. I'm sorry. I hope it's not gone. Crap, I can't go up. And I don't have my other screen up to pull it up. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Like father, like son. He says, "What up, coach? Late to the discussion, but wanted to know, does a trade actually happen? If so, before the draft?" I think if it happens, it'll happen during the draft or afterwards, because it's gonna have to involve a quarterback some kind of way. I appreciate the five, like father, like son, and I'm sorry I forgot it, but that's I got to. The pin comment, if you want to contribute, that's how we do it. It'll take you to Streamlabs, and you can donate that way. You can also do a super chat. You can also do a cash app if you want to support. I appreciate everybody for coming through. And again, don't forget, this is just round one. We got the round table coming up tonight with 5 other opinions, and that's going to be a great show. I appreciate y'all, man. I'm humbled. I'm humbled. 3 more likes to get to 100. 3 more likes to get to 100. Hit the like button for me. Tomorrow, I'll go ahead and tell you the topic before I even post it, so you can kind of get your questions or your comments up under there if you want to. We're going to talk about the wide receiver room over the past 2 years. We're going to talk about the wide receiver room over the past 2 years and go from there, unless something else happens with Lamar. Unless something else happens with Lamar. So again, thank you. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys tonight. We hit the 100 like mark. I appreciate it. And Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday so far. And if it gets better than this, closer to the season, we'll go Thursday. And if it gets even better than that, we'll go Friday. But I'm extremely humbled and thankful for you guys, man. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. And I appreciate it. Thank y'all, man. Day one.